The Supreme Court still has 6 major rulings to issue before the end of the week. What are they and what are their impacts? Joining us now to discuss is Jim Berling, Vice President of Legal Affairs at the Pacific Legal Foundation. During his extensive legal career, Jim has successfully argued major cases before the Supreme Court. Jim, thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you again. To begin, the Supreme Court has said it intends to release all of its remaining decisions by the end of June. There are still 6 blockbuster rulings the court has yet to issue. Tell us about these cases. What's at stake here?
So the first case is a case called Loper-Bright, which deals with whether fishermen have to pay for observers to be on the fishing boats. The regulations are not clear. And the way that the statute has been read by most people for a long time is that the fishermen do not have to pay. But the federal government has now said that the fishermen have to pay, and these could eat tremendously into their profits. The second case before the court is a Trump immunity case, whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution for his official acts that occurred while he was in office. And this all, of course, revolves around what happened on January 6th. I mean, one of the questions is, was that an official act, his actions, or not? But bottom line is, President Trump has claimed vast immunity for all things that he would have done or did do when he was president, and the courts have showed a little bit of skepticism of that when it held oral argument. The third case deals with social media contacts. You may recall that the presidential administration under President Biden was really pressuring Facebook and Google and other media companies to limit their coverage on vaccines. And the question is, under our First Amendment, can the federal government put that kind of pressure on social media companies? Another question deals with abortion out of South Dakota. Now, we thought that the Supreme Court took care of the issue with Dobbs, and in Dobbs' decision, the court said that the states get to decide. But now the Biden administration is saying that we have regulations that say when anybody goes into a medical facility in South Dakota or anywhere and they need emergency treatment, they have to be given an abortion. And South Dakota says, no, we will only give an abortion when the life of the mother is at stake, but not in other so-called emergency situations. So we will see how that one plays out as well. We also have a January 6th obstruction of justice case where the federal government is using the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which deals with the destruction of records, and arguing that the January 6 rioters and President Trump, by trying to interfere with the counting of the votes of the Electoral College, were violating this rule that was put in place in response to another scandal many years ago, but that was dealing with records being destroyed by Enron and the fraud that was going on there. And it's hard to see, it's quite a stretch to apply that to the January 6th rioters as well. And so those are really 6 big decisions that we're waiting to see what the court's going to do with.